I think most business owners hear the word systemizing and automatically want it. It's probably one of the most highly desirable things that people want. I really need to systemize my business. I
Yeah.
need to systemize my business. And it's one of those things that I think people say quite a lot, but don't actually follow through. It's kind of like the I'll do later list.
Yeah. Why do you
And
think that is? Why do you think they will do that? They want it, yet won't do it.
I think it's because number one, they don't know how. They don't know how to do a system.
Yeah.
Number two, they have no time. Most tradies that I know are super busy on the tools, super busy getting the work done. They get home at night and the last thing they have time to do is to put a system together, right?
Yeah, no,
But
they've got to load the truck for the next day, right? Left the house at
exactly,
5:15 in the morning, get home at 7:30 at night, try and swallow some half cold dinner. It's been in the oven for a while because you got held up on the motorway getting home, and then you got to get outside again in the dark and load the ute to get out the next day.
don't forget catching up on the quotes of that night because they're usually behind on the invoicing that needs to be done. So you're up late at night and then you go up again the next day, which is
Yeah.
a common cycle that we come across. But in terms of like, what does systemizing really mean for a trades business owner? What it means is that a task that you need to have done is done the same way every time consistently.
Yeah.
And so that, like, if you want to have a business that can potentially run without you, for you to have confidence in your team, your contractors, anyone that you hire, for them to do it how you want it done without you having to kind of look over them like a vulture and kind of like micromanage everything that they do and wonder if they've done the right thing or left the job site in the right condition, right? And how you want it done. That's where systemizing really comes into play. Yeah.
It's often, I've heard it referred to often as some form of checklist. And I'm wondering if any of you listening out there might have a couple of checklists, like what to do when you arrive at a job site, like park your ute in the street and not in the driveway so that your client potentially is not inconvenienced and can't get out of the garage. It's these sorts of things that you would include in your system. So yes, it's maybe called a checklist, yet the checklist part of do these things is written into a bigger document that has a few other extra steps, which makes it stand alone. So the steps would include things like the purpose of the system is, who this is for, when it gets used, what you will need to do the system, and then it will be the how-to, the steps, which may be including that checklist. So really important that it becomes a standalone document so that if you are not around and somebody walks in and picks that document up, they can look at it and go, I know exactly who should be using this, when it should be used, and how to do it. And it would produce the same result as if you were doing it. So it's not just a matter of having a list of do these things as a checklist on a piece of paper somewhere.
The other thing that I want to just share is that there's two distinct types of businesses. Some are kind of like customized, where, you're getting jobs in and you don't know what the specifications of the job is going to be. So you find it difficult to systemize that because it requires your level of expertise to determine how to make that. So sometimes it's customized specialist work that you do, and every job can be slightly different. And then you've got the other type of business that does the same thing day in, day out, like I'm going to install a toilet, and you follow that system every single time. And I think where some of the challenges in like what we mean by systemizing, it actually does apply to both categories, because there's still a process or a system followed in the implementation of the customized job. Whether how you arrive on site, how you how you quote, how you show up, the uniform that you wear, how you smile and greet, how you leave, when do you ask for a referral or a testimonial, when do you get paid, that whole thing can actually be systemized. And the other thing that I think that is the most critical part of systemizing is deciding that you're going to be a system-driven business. Like if I say I should be systemizing, I really need to be systemizing, that is like saying, well, that's so far away from who we are. That means we're not. We don't. Rather than just deciding that we're a systems-driven business, we're going to be McDonald's in our business, so 15-year-olds can basically follow the steps and produce the outcome.